Hey there. So I want to talk to you about something that I often end up talking to my clients about. It's a really interesting and useful way of being able to look at recurring situations and problems in your life. So I'm a coach. My whole raison d'etre, the whole reason that I do what I do, is to help people achieve things. So I want to help people get change of some kind, achieve a goal, change their lives, break free of things. So that's why I do what I do. And along the way, I've learned a lot of sort of psychological tips and tricks that then I give them to my clients. Then sometimes it can help them make breakthroughs. So I want to give you one of those today. So I want to talk to you about emotional cascades. This is the idea that when you experience something, a whole chain of events can happen inside of you. And the more conscious you are of that chain of events, the more opportunities you have to kind of step in and disrupt it. So, as an example, if you're in a relationship and you regularly have fights, you, without the kind of analysis we're talking about, what you can kind of think and feel is that the partner keeps doing this thing over and over again, and it just pisses you off. It just makes you really angry, and or it makes you feel really uncertain about yourself and undermined, whatever it is, and then you pretty quickly start having a fight. So what you're having there is an awareness of a trigger, and then a thing that happens inside of you, and then the result. But usually there's a lot more going on than that. So in that particular example, it could be that a trigger happens. So your partner makes a comment. And then the first thing that happens is that you notice the comment and you start processing it, and you have some kind of immediate response to it. So irritation, or it could be like resignation because you've had this argument so many times before. Or it could be that it reminds you of a thing that, say, your parents used to say to you when you were little. Or that something like that happened during a significant moment in your life, like a relationship that was really life-defining for you, that person said this sort of thing. And then that can take you into a whole series of memories. And that can lead to other feelings like anger or insecurity or fear or whatever it is for you. And then that can lead you to then step up and try to defend yourself. So you'll have a response to the cascade of things that's happening inside of you, and then finally the fight starts. So that's just an example, but this happens all the time. So often our responses to things are not as simple as we think they are. So really what I'm saying is try and pay attention when things trigger you. So this could be when you're at work and colleagues say things that really annoy you, or when you are just starting out friendships or relationships and you start feeling a familiar sensation that you always feel when you're around people. It could be when there's a social situation and you feel really nervous or afraid. It could be when you're reflecting on yourself and you're being really critical about yourself. So it's usually not that we go straight from trigger to result. Try and become more conscious of all the steps that lie in between. So what's your initial feeling? What's your initial thought? Then where does that take you? Does that bring up something from your past, or does that take you to somewhere in particular? And then do you respond to that? All of this can happen in like 1 or 2 seconds. But the more conscious we are of that, the more we can step in. So going back to our example where someone's in a relationship and they have a fight, we saw that initially you have a feeling or a response, and then you have memories of something, memories that someone else used to say those similar things to you, and so you can step in at that point and go, hang on, this person is not that person. This person doesn't have the same motivations as they had. This person isn't being critical in the same way that that person was. And also, I'm not the same person as I was in that situation. It could be that you remember your parents saying these things to you, but you were a little kid at the time, so that really mattered to you. Does this matter quite so much? Is your response to this as an adult the same as that was? So that gives you an opportunity to disrupt the cascade. For now, that's it. It's just start paying attention to cascades inside of yourself. Start looking for them where they happen and notice that there's more steps to trigger and then result than just that. That there are all these little things that can happen inside of you. That can be really helpful. But it's also useful when tacked onto other skills and other techniques. So just wanted to give you that today, and just give you something to start thinking about and start practicing in your life. Start observing situations and see if it's happening for you. Cheers.